We will be back in some form.
We have an army of digital soldiers because this was an insurgency.
Hundreds
folks.
dead, thousands infected across multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs, you are.
All right. Hope you patriots out there kicking ass, taking names. Welcome to the party, folks, to PatriotPartyNews.com. I am your host, Chaz Carter, better known as Underground Patriot, coming to you live from the Wolf Den, folks. Oh, man, it's been kind of crazy battling, I don't know what you call it, head cold, whatever. I couldn't even hardly talk this morning. It was kind of cray-cray. And as I'm sitting here starting off the broadcast, they're instantly silencing us, which is kind of wild, which is on Instagram. So sorry, Instagram, that happened to you there. And we'll have to come back again and redo that here. Matter of fact, while I'm doing this, show you how fast this works. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Dallas because they're already starting to hit us. And sometimes you just need help. And let me see if I can grab Dallas. I'm going to go and bring you in real quick if you don't mind. Yeah.
I like the delay now. Because I can see my little icon go live. and it takes about 6 seconds for it to come up.
Man, I apologize. Like I said, I was telling you in a text message right before the show. I've been feeling kind of under the weather here, and I wasn't able to do coffee with Chaz this morning. So bear with me, guys. And then they try to shut us down all over the place. Man, we got an action-packed show today. Now, we might as well go ahead and put the disclaimer out right now, right off the bat. I'm going to start to do this because people lose their freaking mind. Is that a fair assessment to say? Guys, we cover everything. Okay, we're about the truth here and what's really going on, not narratives. So please understand. Please don't get upset if we're willing to, tell the truth and be able to back it up with facts. Am I correct, Dallas? Am I accurate to say what I just said?
Yes.
100%. Yeah. So again,
yeah, I mean, my number one objective is to just find the truth, whatever that is. And again, I've said this over and over again, but I don't even really care what the truth is. I just want to know the truth, because once I know the truth, even if it's a horrible truth, I can adjust and I can adapt and I can move on. But my struggle is simply finding the truth, whatever that is, because, man, every day I learn I learn about more lies, like just in our history, in our past, in our modern, the whole, second flight to the moon, bull crap where they ejected the pilots, through the zip line thing as it was taking off. And I mean, it just, why continue to, why spend the money, but why spend billions, theoretically, billions of dollars a year to lie to us? But I just want the truth. Even if the truth is horrible, right? I just would like to know what the truth is. And I think that that's part of the disconnect that I sense sometimes from some of the people watching and listening is 9 times out of 10, I'm just asking questions. I'm just doing it out loud.
Yeah.
Things that I am questioning in my mind, or I'm pondering, or like, hey, that didn't make sense. So and so said this, but then this is what happened, and those two things don't align. Half the time, I'm just asking questions out loud as I search through, the muck, to find the actual truth.
Well, I'm proud of us because we're going out there and we are doing this, and this is what's happening. I've noticed something that we have been doing some deep dive. I'll give you an example. We've been talking a lot about Operation Trust, which the byproduct of that is the Q movement. Okay. Well, guess what? Everybody now is saying, is the Q movement real? Well, yeah, it's real because it came from Operation Trust, because the whole reasoning behind the Q movement was control, to keep us like in a compartment where they can control us by feeding us a little bit, which is the truth. They are feeding us, and things have happened, and things that we told and were going to be coming our way. Okay. You need to understand it is real, and they have to. That's no pun intended. It is real. Yeah, no pun intended, but it's true. It's true, and it's not just that, Dallas. We're talking about across the board. If we're talking about the Biden administration, if we're talking about the Obama administration, if we're talking about the Trump administration, Trump 1 first administration and Trump 2. Okay. And it's getting a little cray. I guess I better go ahead and jump into this because I got more intel here for us that I can shake a stick at. Okay. And I'm going ahead and telling you, remember that time on the show we were talking about Melania wearing her glasses and something wasn't right? We're going to be getting to that. This is going to be an explosive show. I had to make a call in to confirm that this was actually true. And so is this AI? Is this 100%? And they said from their White House sources, absolutely. This is what's happening in behind the scenes at the White House. And we'll get to that here in just a second. But, we're talking about North Korea a good little bit. Okay. And, one of, I think, Trump's favorite songs, if I'm not mistaken, is all right.
Yep.
There you go. So North Korea conducts 6 missile tests in 2026. Kim Jong-un watches as cruise anti-warship missiles are launched from destroyer. And we're hearing a lot of talks, about China. And also, wasn't there a vessel that just happened to go through without being messed with? We're going to be talking about that too.
You're talking about the ship that made it through the Straits of Hormuz? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for reposting the stream here. Share us out. Repost us on Rumble. By the way, man, we did another million views almost on Rumble yesterday. Just on Rumble alone, not counting our other platforms. So just saying, people are starting to wake up at an alarming rate, and I don't think people are ready for it. The people that are trying to control us, or the entities that are trying to control us, they're not prepared for what's about to happen. It's kind of like hiding out in this garbage truck where they were Palestinians were trying to get into Israel, and they hid in this garbage truck. Check this out. How they did this? I don't know. I get that. That's trash. Oh, that's really
That's a lot of people, Chaz.
That smells great. It must be really bad over there for them to hide a trash truck. Just saying.
Well, if that's a real functioning trash truck, that is a terrifying place to hide. All they got to do is flip the wrong switch, and it crushes every single one of them hydraulically, and it ain't gonna stop. Like, it's designed to crush everything. Man,
that is crazy.
And those are Palestinians smuggling into Israel. Is that what it said?
Yeah, the Israeli security forces find 60 Palestinians hiding inside a garbage truck attempting to infiltrate into Israel, is what they're claiming. The driver detained for questioning, suspects taken into custody by police and the IDF. So, excuse me.
Okay. That headline sounds fishy to me, but
yeah,
hey, I don't know, man.
It could be that they're hiding to get out of maybe Lebanon because of what's happening there.
Yeah.
But they're definitely hiding for something, like you just said. Who's going to get in the back of a trash truck and someone accidentally, I hit the wrong button, and everybody's screaming behind me. What's going on?
Yeah.
Seriously. Let's see here. Huge plant in China is on fire. That's pretty serious. This is fire engulfs a parking garage of the Chinese EV plant BYD site in Shenzhen. Is that Shenzhen? I'll just say Shenzhen. There it is. Look at that. I guess that's where they make the electric cars.
Yeah, that would be.
Those are batteries exploding.
At least the batteries, yeah.
That's a lot of stuff going on right there, Big Papa. Look at that. Crazy. Keeps on getting gooder. Don't worry. The show's about to really pick up speed in a second, because I'm having to save the best for last and prepare you guys and give you the disclaimers. So wait till the end. You haven't seen anything yet. I'm telling you, you got to say a disclaimer, man. Blackout fears as Ed Miliband's solar power push threatens to overwhelm the electricity grid here. This is coming from GB News. There he goes. Yeah, blackout fears are growing as Britain's electricity grid comes under pressure from the surge in solar power. Make it make sense. I thought solar power was to be off grid. Just saying. That's going to be an excuse for them to shut it down, so you can't have anything independent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, this right here is right up your alley, Dallas, right here. Check this out. Listen to this. This is Revelation warning, and listen to the similarities. And I'm going to tell you, Ezekiel 25. Think about this for a second. Watch this.
If you start doing a deep dive on Christian beliefs about the end times and Islamic beliefs about the end times, I'm going to show you some things that are A, going to blow your mind, and B, going to send a chill down your spine. In Islamic eschatology, there will be an end times messianic figure that's called the Mahdi that usher in the end of the world and paradise in Islam. Now, I'm going to bullet point for you what Muslims believe the Mahdi will do. If you are a Bible-aware Christian, you're going to have a whole bunch of like flashing red lights in your head going, whoa, 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 that sounds familiar. In Islamic eschatology, the Mahdi will emerge as a charismatic messianic world leader during global chaos. He will take control of the world and destroy everyone who resists him. He will invade many nations. He will rule and reign for 7 years. He will broker a 7-year peace treaty with the Jews. He will conquer Israel and massacre the Jews. He will establish an Islamic one world government headquartered in Jerusalem. He will establish Islam as the only acceptable religion. He will come on a white horse. Hello. With supernatural power, doing signs and wonders. He will be assisted by a powerful prophet. Now listen, if any of that sounds familiar, it is a precise description of the Bible's Antichrist. Islam's Mahdi is the Christian Antichrist. Now, let me go one last layer deeper. If you view Ezekiel 38 as an eschatological prophecy, then what you're waiting for is that at the end, a bunch of nations in the world will gather against Israel. They will wage a multi-front war, and it's going to look like Israel is going to be destroyed. And that at that moment is the moment that Jesus Christ will return, war horse, tattoo on his thigh, fire in his eyes, sword out of his mouth, and he will destroy them and put down the enemies of God. Now, dude, here's what's insane. It's using the names for those nations in the time that Ezekiel was written. Gog and Magog corresponds to primarily Russia and Central Asia. Meshech and Tubal, that's Turkey. Persia is Iran. Cush is Sudan. Put is Libya. Gomer is Turkey. And Beth Togarmah is also Turkey. All but one of those today are Islamic nations. And guess what is the fastest growing religion in the only one of those nations that is not yet an Islamic nation? Russia. Islam. Wow. I'm just telling you, man, I don't know how to read these things without at least wondering if Islam, the rise of Islam, is ushering in the events of the biblically prescribed end times. Now listen, Christians should love Muslims. God loves all people, wants to save all people. They're Gentiles too that God wants to save. Christians should hate Islam. It is a demonic ideology and religion that destroys and enslaves the people that adhere to it. If you...
Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
Yeah. Behold, pale horse. Mm-hmm.
And hell followed after. It's, you know, I mean, it kind of go back to what he said in the beginning. Like, they said it was going to be biblical. I think I'd said this about a year ago when I thought it was getting super biblical. Like, I don't think people understand how biblical it's about to be, but apparently, I mean, it's like quote unquote biblical.
Hey, by the way, real quick, speaking of biblical, if you want to go off grid with us here at PPN, you can go to skycomptt.com, skycomptt.com, and what you'll get is if you'll go to shop now, I'll click on that. You see this red PPN button. We've already got it set up where everybody can go off grid with us. We don't need no stinking internet, okay? Because pretty soon it's going to be gone, and they control it anyway. Why not get the truth off grid and stop being conditioned and taken advantage of? The discount is built into this. It's amazing. This is around the world, by the way, okay? Satellite and two-way. Just to give you an idea, we've already got groups set up, and even we got Charlie Ward's camp in here as well. So we're going to do this together as things start, or the onion, as I always said, the layers of the onion are peeled off from where they're going through and they're censoring everything, because you haven't seen anything yet. Going into this summer, wait and see, if not before, what's about to take place. So again, go to skycomptt.com. And also tomorrow at the noon show, we're going to be doing a radio check for those that have their radios. So if you have already purchased your radio and already have it, guess what? You can participate in that as well. Just go to the international group, PPN International, and everybody from around the world can check in with their radios, which is pretty cool. So there you go. All right. Well, doesn't surprise me here. Insider Paper is reporting crude oil demand to see the biggest quarterly plunge since COVID. But we got plenty of oil.
That's what they keep telling us, Chaz.
When I keep on seeing the prices get higher. There's a guy in Georgia. I don't know if you saw this on the internet. This dude's, don't you hate it when you see something and you try to grab it and all of a sudden it disappears? Okay, that's what this did. I was like, oh, man. He said somewhere in Georgia, it was almost $5 regular gas. I'm like, well, tell me what part of Georgia this is in. And this dude was straight up going off. He had like an old Ford Ranger truck. I'd say it was like an 84, 85. I mean, and he was just sitting there, had overalls on, and had a big cigar in his mouth. And he was just saying, this is insane. This is crazy. What is going on? And it's what we all care about. I know everybody's like, man, Chaz, where are y'all going to be gloom and doom? We're wanting you to ask questions. That's why we keep on bringing this up, because it's common sense questions that you got to ask yourself. We do this every single day. And 9 times out of 10, I mean, till midnight, past midnight, I was getting text messages. You've turned your back. Oh, shame on you, and this and that. But you know what? I'm also getting a lot more messages saying, you and Dallas keep on rocking it out, because it makes sense what you guys are saying. And I'm very grateful for those that all we're wanting to do, we're questioning. But people that are sold out to a BS narrative, if you question it, you want to get your arm cut off. And that's not how it rolls.
Yeah.
We got to be fair with this. If we're going to question what Biden did, we got to question what Trump's administration and whoever else is doing as well. If we deem good, because we voted for them.
Well, and the point I've been making is that you can't tell me that it's wrong for one group of people to do it when the other group does it and you say it's good business, or oh, they're just smart, or they're just ahead of the trends. Like, no. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, and vice versa. But you know, the price of oil, Chaz, like it's not even it's not determined by normal like pricing mechanisms. It's not supply and demand. It is dictated and controlled by the market in London. Like Lloyd's of London dictate the price of oil per barrel, and they do it arbitrarily. Like they do it to make money. It has nothing to do with supply and demand. Supply and demand is a secondary byproduct of them artificially upping or lowering the price of oil. And until people understand that, you know, I mean, part of it is understanding the mechanisms of how some of this stuff works. It has nothing to do with supply and demand. It has everything to do with the people in London, specifically Lloyd's of London. How much profit do they want to make? How much money do the oil companies want to make? Because that's what dictates specifically the price of gas, right? Around the world, but in the United States.
Right.
And it is artificially high right now for no reason. And truth be told, Chaz, it's probably going to go up 50 cents to $1 in the next week or so. If this blockade of the Straits of Hormuz continues, we are going to see across the entire United States gas go up by a minimum of 50 cents, I think,
Already doing
and
that.
possibly up to $1.
I believe it's going to be closer to $1. That's just my personal opinion. But you're right. Either way, it's going up.
Yeah.
Either way, it's going up. England in full protest, 15th, 16th, 17th of April at 12 noon. No surprise there. Of course, we see what's happening in Ireland right now. Look at the Irish with everything going on there. And then we always knew that they're trying to do this to Trump, of course. In the last, at least 50 House Democrats have co-sponsored a bill to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove President Trump from office. And, of course, it's going to be always Democrats, of course. Now, I will tell you, some folks, Republicans, y'all better, be keeping a close eye on those jokers, because there's going to be some, obviously, that are rhinos. There's going to be others that disagree with what Trump has done, regardless if anybody thinks he's a genius or not. Okay. Some aspects, it seems like in showing what Israel is doing in terms of messing up the ceasefires. I mean, for heaven's sakes, supposedly they're having meetings with Israel and Lebanon right now. How's that going? Asking for a friend. It's not. They got up and walked out. Hey, make this up, okay? Yeah. This is what's going down, dude, and it's just nuts. And of course, what is it that Trump said was going to happen? They're going to shut down the strait, or they're going to escort people through the strait, or this or that, or whatever. Nobody's going through the strait. Well,
except for one Chinese ship.
There you go. Why? Why? And by the way, you can go to Marine Time to verify this. They're reporting this, by the way. You can go and check that out. So, and we're not the only ones talking about this. It's all over the internet as well. Now, these are questions you got to ask yourself. Okay, well, how is that possible? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot they paid in yen.
Yeah, and they paid the $2 million, passing. But Chaz, those tankers carry 2 million gallons of oil, so they basically upped it by $1. Right? It's $1 a barrel, and they pay it, and they paid in yen, which Iran accepted because that's part of the deal. They're not taking U.S. dollars, but it's plus China gave them 5,000 fifth generation ballistic missiles, warheads. So, everybody keeps saying we've blown Iran off the map, but somehow they keep shooting off more missiles day after day after day after day. And they're, supposedly, again, I talked about it last week. Supposedly Tel Aviv is like rubble, but yet I saw a video again. I don't think the video was AI. I don't know how old the video was. That's the question. But right. Two dudes walking down the beach. There's no smoke. It's kind of like when we were looking at the live cams, right? Of all those different cities, and there's no smoke. There's no fires, except missiles have been landing, over and over and over again for weeks, right? It doesn't make sense. But
no. Well, I might as well go ahead and put it on the screen, because everyone's wanting to know, okay, what are you talking about? So right before the show, I was talking to Dallas, and I was like, hey, do you remember the show that we had where we were talking about Melania wearing sunglasses coming down from Air Force One with Trump? They looked distant to one another. They wasn't holding any hands. I made the comment of, man, they look like coworkers. They look like they're just there. And she got in the car. She put her head back and went, and they were just like, they were tired of one another. And I said, and we both said, yeah, it looks kind of strange. And then we got a lot of blowback from everybody. No, that's impossible. They're just tired. They've been running and gunning and this and that and whatever. You could tell. And I think even you said this, Dallas, you could tell the stress. You could cut it with a butter knife, right?
Yeah.
Well, a little while ago, Joseph Daniel ended up, if you remember, he's the gentleman, the prophet, the pastor that goes and calls people out and prays for them while they're walking real fast away from him quick, because Satan rebuked Satan. That's what he kept on, which I love it. And anyway, he was on the show last week with you and I, and he was there at the, what's it called, the Bundaberg, whatever meetings they had there in D.C. with security tried to get him out. So I asked him, I said, have you confirmed this? And he was with, he talked to Alex Jones, a couple others, and their White House contacts are confirming this. So that's what was said. I'm going to play this. Viewer discretion, please be advised. Again, don't shoot the messenger, but we're about the truth and what's happening right now. And there's a lot of questions being asked, and they're saying Melania and Donald J. Trump separation has confirmed. Check this out.
So Melania despises Trump. They essentially are not together anymore. So I just said, this looks like Melinda Gates, who found out that Bill was hanging out with Epstein and doing all this stuff and lying about it. She broke with him. And I said, this looks like she's getting ready to leave him. So I made some calls to a bunch of sources. And I've known this for a while, but Trump's been a lesser two evils night and day. So I don't just dish dirt to get a bunch of headlines. I wanted him to succeed. Yeah. Now, if something was corrupt, I had to report on it. And I would do that because it's justice to be done by the heavens fall. But on this, okay, if he's got marital problems, and I know the inside baseball from all these sources, it's pointless just to go there. The left will just use that. I'm not going to do it. So I've known this for really 6-7 years. But she came out contradicting. I said, sounds to me like she's getting ready to leave him or making a clean break, that she's not with the Epstein cover-up and the Epstein Howard Lutnick class. Sure enough, I started getting contacts and I also reached out to people, and they said, these are people that was just very close to the president, all of them. I'm not going to get into specifics. I don't want people to know who we're talking about, but it's multiple people. A lot of those I can never give a source because they'll never come out and say it. But Roger Stone was the source, multi-hour conversation with Trump, keeping him from firing Tulsi Gabbard. I broke that, finally broke yesterday. It was called confirmed in the news, but I broke that over a week ago.
That's true.
My point is, I'm not making this stuff up. So Melania despises Trump. They essentially are not together anymore. And I don't say this with pleasure, but I want to explain why this is coming out and why I have to go and say it. And she understands that it's a sinking ship. The cabinet's totally panicked. People are now challenging him openly. He hasn't run into that in a while because everybody was just worshiping, like those cabinet meetings are sycophantic. Yeah. Because he screams at people if they disagree with him. He admits that. He said, oh, sorry, my voice is gone. I'm screaming at people that I disagreed with. And so he got in the madness of King Lear. He didn't have dementia the last term. He didn't have dementia during the campaign. He is a workaholic. He only sleeps 2-3 hours. He does get burned out sometimes. We all do. Slurs his words, all that. But, he wasn't showing signs of insanity. He is showing major flickers of that. And or like a light bulb's about to go out, it kind of burns brighter and then dims. And he's kind of very, very erratic.
Seek the face of the Lord, Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Joseph Philip Daniel has been.
So I talked to him this morning about this, and you got to understand, one of the main sources that Alex Jones just said was Roger Stone. And I'm going to tell you right now, Roger Stone, super connected with Trump and the family and politics and D.C. A lot of people disagree and don't like Roger Stone, but he has been on the scene forever and he knows the background virtually on everything, and he's got sources galore. This is what they're saying. This is what's being reported to them. Everybody in the chat's going absolutely ballistic if you can't see it. Hey,
I can see enough of it. Alex Jones is bought and paid for, fraud. Nothing he says should be trusted. Well, he's been right over and over and over again. Do I believe everything he says? No. But you guys listen to a lot of people that I don't particularly care for and that I don't particularly trust. But you take what they say as gospel, right? But we didn't play that clip because we think everything he says and does is correct. We play that clip because it brings something to the forefront that has been in everyone's mind since the beginning, right? You can't tell me that the people out there like fake news, that's blah, 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 that you watch Melania Trump and Donald Trump interact with each other and you say that is a loving, connected, like gelled marriage. You if you're honest,
Dang, man, they're wanting to kill Alex up in this chat.
If you're honest, you cannot tell me that you look at Melania and Donald Trump and how they interact with each other and tell me that that's a loving, connected, like ride or die relationship.
Why is the White House freaking out about her coming forward about Epstein and they didn't know anything about it? And everyone's saying, "Oh, it's part of the plan. It's part of it." Well, I'm here to tell you, I think honestly, she is sick of it. And she's sick of her name being ran through. And here's another thing. I mean, there's very provocative pictures of her. I mean, let's be real. She was a model. You see where she's acting like James Bond by Trump Force One. I mean, we could go down a laundry list, and there's a lot on there too that's AI, that's BS, that's totally been thrown out there.
I think she is speaking up on behalf of the victims because somehow, somewhere, I am pretty positive that she was run through that system as a teenage model from a Eastern European, European
Our
country.
best friend came forward talking about it. You're exactly right.
I know. So was she a victim? I don't know. I hope not, because I don't want anyone to go through that. But she was absolutely within that world. And if she wasn't a physical victim, she knew dozens, if not hundreds, of other girls that were absolutely victimized through this modeling, system, which is directly connected to
See, they're already shutting you down, boss.
Epstein. Think that she came out because she's sick and tired of people calling it a hoax and discrediting.
And who called it a hoax again? Just asking for a friend?
Well, that would be her husband, Donald Trump.
Okay, just making sure I'm understanding that. Yeah.
And again, but I don't know, Chaz. Again, it just baffles my mind that people are unwilling to see two sides of the same image, right? Or look at the same image from two different perspectives, without absolutely just throwing it out, like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's stupid. I'm not listening to that. I'm not paying attention to that. Well, you should be, because that's how we got here. Is we just stopped paying attention for about 40 years.
Yeah.
But
something to think about, isn't it? And by the way, do you think Sandy Hook was real?
Every interaction.
Put yes or no in the chat. I'd be curious. Was Sandy Hook real? Yes or no? Or was it fake? Fake or real? How about that? Yeah, fake or real? To see how many people have the cannones to put that out there. Fake or real? Or no or yes? Was it real or not?
Well, then you're defending Alex Jones.
There you
I mean, I don't know if that's where you were going, Chaz.
That's 100% where I'm going. What did Trump say?
Trump
Look,
said,
okay, so that's what I love about doing things live, like what we're doing right now with real people, or a majority of real people, I should say, because I see a bunch of bots in here going at it. See, that's what I'm saying. You cannot sit here and say, well, it's fake. It's fake. But then you got Trump on there talking about it, how Alex was reigned by it, by what he did. You see, you cannot have your cake and eat it too, ladies and gentlemen. You got to understand what's being played out right now in front of you. See, don't go down a dead end rabbit hole, because when you turn back around, people are going to be tapping their foot wondering, where the hell did you take me?
Well, and people are like, well, but I don't think that because of Alex Jones. Well, Alex Jones is the one that went to court and fought to defend the fact that it wasn't what it was said. So, I'm not agreeing with Alex Jones. Well, if you think it's fake, it's the reason people think it's fake is because of Alex Jones, because of the court case. Again, I'm not saying that everything Alex Jones has ever said has been 100% accurate and correct, and that I agree with everything. I'm just saying you can't dismiss an entire thought because you don't like the thought. Like that, and that's what people are doing every single day. That's the pushback that we get. Somebody yesterday was like, well, were you there when the guy got locked in his car in China and died? No, you jackass. I've never been to China. Like, of course I wasn't there, but you can go and look up articles that are readily available where people have been locked out of their homes, locked out of their cars. This guy just happened to get locked in it, but locked out of their bank accounts. They're away on business and their card gets shut down and they can't get on the train to get back home. So they are now stuck in a foreign city in China, but in a city that's not theirs, not their home, because their credit score dropped below a certain amount, right? Like, no, I wasn't there. That's absolutely absurd. Like, that argument in itself is stupid, but you can't dismiss an entire concept or an entire idea because it doesn't fit within what your brain is able to comprehend, or it goes against a narrative that we have been fire hosed of believing. And it just, we got to wake up, guys. You got to be able to see the bigger picture. Again, I'm going to go back to Melania and Donald Trump. Show me an image of them together with any physical contact where they both look genuinely happy and not uncomfortable. Like, they barely hold hands. He reaches for her hand all the time and she won't hold his hand. When they do hold hands.
That was a recent video of showing that when he was coming down the stairs. Yeah, and he tried to grab her hand and she shooed it away.
So, I've thought that from the very beginning. It's a marriage of convenience is how I've looked at it. He's one of the wealthiest men on the planet, and I'm not dogging her, but it baffles me how people throw ideas out because I don't agree with that. I'm like, that's dumb. I'm not listening to that. You should listen to everything. I listen to a whole lot of people that I don't particularly care for or I don't particularly like, and I don't agree with what they say, but every now and then they say something and I'm like, man, that actually makes sense. Or that's what I was thinking. You guys got to open your minds.
Or what this jackass says about the Epstein files. Sorry, but that's one of the main things that mattered to me was exposing these elites and where the arrest at. Well, hold that thought for a second.
The authority to go ahead and release more, do you not? And you have the authority to go to Congress, perhaps?
No, we have released everything. So listen, we reviewed 6 million pieces of paper. What we released was anything associated with the Epstein files. So there we
said they released everything,
a single piece
which
of
is
paper,
a lie.
Nothing that should be released. If we find something else tomorrow, we'll release it. I don't anticipate we will. So the misguided assumption that there is more to be released is because we reviewed millions and millions of pages within the department, millions of which had nothing to do with Epstein. So it's not as if we looked at a document and said, we're not going to release that. If we didn't release it, it's because it was not responsive to the law and therefore not part of the Epstein files. What we've done with Congress is we by law, we had to make certain redactions by law, including of victims and of PI information. But we said to Congress, any congressman can come in and spend as much time as they want looking at everything unredacted. And if you think we should be doing something, Congressman or Congresswoman, let us know and we will do it. And so we have that. I don't know how this department or this president can be more transparent than saying, American people, here's every single document in our entire database. And if we had to redact it because of victim names, anybody can come look at it if you're a member of Congress, no restrictions.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our new Attorney General.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. And did you hear what he said? We have millions of files that have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein, and we just disregarded them. But they detail crimes against humanity and crimes against children and women and satanic ritual, murders and cannibalism. But we just threw those away because that it didn't have Jeffrey Epstein's name on it.
Man, it's crazy that we're about to see some influencers using the law of war manual and stuff for their narrative that are going to be arrested. Have you heard about this? It's going to be under treason. And it's kind of crazy. As war reports are coming out, we're going to find that out. But I got a sneaking suspicion that we know who some of them are because the narratives are not making sense. It's not adding up. And that's what happens. And see, I keep on hearing this. Well, it's all a movie. You shouldn't even have to talk about any of this. Well, if it's all a movie, then why are you guys getting so heated when we ask questions? Because we have that right. You see, you need to understand something. We're in the truth business, boys and girls. We ain't bought by anybody. Nobody owns us. We're free thinkers. God gave us discernment. We just don't go, la, 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 la. Oh, this is great. Great narrative. Great story. Great movie. It doesn't work that way. If you want to be fooled, maybe that'll work for you. Don't be fooled. It doesn't pay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'd much rather be told the truth and know what I'm looking towards. Now, we're being told some aspects of the truth from Operation Trust using Q as the vehicle, but also it's keeping us at bay because we are the ones, honestly, that they fear would take over the government, would take over the United States, because there's more of us than they are of them. Let's be real. And a lot of people are scared to even say that. Oh my God, they're going to come arrest me. For what? Telling the truth? I'm not making threats. Dallas is not making threats. But a lot of people want to sit here and watch a movie or say a bunch of bullshit on the internet for clickbait or great storylines.
Well, and this war does require critical thinking, but critical thinking is asking questions. It's not sitting and blindly following somebody else's narrative that they tell you while they sit on a screen and show you their boots or whatever, right? Like you have to be willing to look at the evidence and look at what is being said and what's being told to us versus what is actually happening to the best of our ability to prove, and put them together, because critical thinking is not blindly sitting by and just going, oh, okay, well, it's a movie. It's we're just NPCs. Just eventually the white knight, the shiny knight's going to come and save us. That was supposed to be Trump, right? But
the ending's
critical thinking. Sorry, what, Chaz?
I said the ending's not for everybody. Take that to the bank. And that's
but critical thinking is asking questions like that. I'm reading the comment, and the definition of critical thinking is being critical of the information being presented to you. Like, that is the definition of critical thinking. And so sitting idly by and just taking somebody else's word for the facts of the truth and disregarding your intuition and your gut instinct when you see or hear something, like the image that we talked about yesterday, the image of Trump, right, as Jesus or whatever. Well, Trump edited it, because in the clouds, the original picture or painting or whatever that thing was, it was soldiers, and Trump edited it to look like some kind of gargoyle, something thing.
But it was Red Cross. You gotta understand, it's Red Cross, brother. Didn't you see the Red Cross?
I don't know, but
that's what he said. No, it made no sense.
Oh, that's what Trump said.
Yes, Trump said I was trying to be a doctor, and it's a Red Cross. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching him live say this, and I'm sitting here like, bro, what it comes down to is somebody thought it was cute to put it on there, and I wish I could have grabbed the screenshots of the comment on Truth Social, and it was insane. I mean, we had hardcore, Trump, MAGA was like, oh my God, what is going on, and maybe it's a attraction marketing, okay, to get it to do that possibly, but it worked.
I just use that image as an example of if you looked at that and thought, oh man, good for Trump. I question your ability to like critically think, and I'm not picking on anybody in the chats. I catch words and it triggers thoughts, right? So I'm not arguing or picking with anybody, but you sent it to me and you said, or actually Jen sent it to me and said, what are your thoughts? And my immediate, within seconds, not good. Like, I looked at the picture and went, ooh, that's not a good look, right? They're like, in my soul, in my intuition, the Holy Spirit was like, wrong idea.
We
Like,
got to talk about reptilians, and I'm sitting here looking at the edited version you're talking about, and it looked like, and we talked about this the other day. Drago is one of the reptilians, and that's what it looked like, a gargoyle, like your wings or dragon. And I'm sitting here like, man, this is so crazy. This is so wild to see this and how this has happened. Yes, blasphemy. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
like, there were a lot of people that were like, oh, it's just Trump being funny. Well, okay, maybe he was trying to be funny, but it wasn't funny.
Comms, people are saying in the chat. What about that? What's your thoughts on that? Medbed comms.
I think that's wishful thinking. I mean, maybe, I guess, but that's not. When I looked at the picture, that's not the first thing that went through my brain. The first thing that went through my brain was, that is not a good look, Mr. President. You should take that down right now. Or you should have never put it up, but you should absolutely take it down. And that was the best. That's why he took it down, because out of the 12,000 comments that happened within minutes of that picture being uploaded, that was the majority of the thought. But not a good look, President. Take it down, right? But it just, I don't know, man.
I do know this. We've been on it, and we've called it every step of the way, and we'll be here all freaking day long. And so our truth is real. We can back it up by facts. And that's what everyone needs to do. Instead of, wanting to debate, go use your own discernment, go and do your own research. Don't listen to Dallas or Chaz. Okay. But we're pointing you in the direction that people really need to be looking into and go from there. I know some people put in the chat talking about Operation Trust being related to a Soviet Union PSYOP. Hell yeah, that's where it was established. And then they use the exact same thing here in the States, and it goes into detail about it. Why do you think it's so hard to find it? It took me 30 days digging, trying to find anything about it because of what we'd been told. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, that's exactly where it comes from. And Chad said that last week.
But remember what Q said about Trust Grassley? You remember that?
Yeah.
Trust Grassley? Listen to this. Now, this is probably hitting the nail on the head. This is Senator Chuck Grassley. America is very fortunate to have the strongest military in the world. Listen to this.
I want to make some remarks about Iran. I do it in light of the fact that diplomacy ought to be used before war. And I am well aware of hard work of our vice president and other people on his team in Pakistan last week, working almost 24 hours to reach an agreement. It was not reached. Some reports late last night, early this morning, indicate that maybe Iran is willing to sit down and talk again. So in light of that, and what we know and what we hope happens, I make these remarks. On February the 28th, 2026, the United States began combat operations in Iran. Action taken to protect U.S. Americans by preventing Iran from ever having a nuclear weapon. That's not only to protect the United States, but that weapon could be used any place on this globe, and we don't want that to happen. But the most important thing is the president as commander-in-chief is exercising his responsibilities. The number one responsibility that he has and our nation has to protect the American people. Now, these operations have demonstrated the unmatched strength, precision, and professionalism of the United States military. America is very fortunate to have the strongest military in the world, capable of not only projecting power, but of doing so with discipline, coordination, and a clear sense of mission.
Thank God he doesn't have an Israel flag on his lapel. He's got America only. So
he has taken money from AIPAC, but yes, I agree with you, Chaz.
They all have.
all except for Massey.
And the MTG?
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, she took money from the stock market, but she did not take money from AIPAC.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing how we start seeing people being arrested for asking questions. It's coming. I'm going to tell you right now. And it's also coming that, imagine this. Imagine finding out people that you listen to on a regular basis that you had no clue that was bought and sold for propaganda. We're starting to see it happen. Text messages and screenshots are coming out left and right. For repost, to be able to, hey, I'll pay me 500, pay me 1,000, pay me 20 grand. Yeah, this is true. To repost my stuff. I'm sorry, but that's horrendous, and that's being just like the deep state, Dallas. So.
Oh yeah, and to your point, it's coming from both sides.
Yes, it is.
It's coming from the Republicans and the Democrats, but so AIPAC is petitioning to make anti-Zionist rhetoric punishable by law, along with the anti-Israel. So the anti-Semitic is now being lumped into anti-Zionism. They're merging them into one thing. So if you say anything against the city, the state, or the government of Israel, you are an anti-Zion / Semitic. And they have 29 laws that they're trying to implement for punishments, which include time in jail, penalties. It's for simply questioning or saying something negative about the city-state of Israel. That's in the United States, people. But hey, don't take my word for it, because I wasn't there when they're writing the laws. But I'm telling you, it's coming to the United States, where if you say something right now, it exists right now. If you burn an Israeli flag, you will get arrested. And I mean, probably tackled to the ground and smashed in the face a couple of times and arrested and thrown in jail. But you can do whatever you want to an American flag. That is in the United States of America right now. That make sense.
By the way, if you go to any events where you see an American flag and a Israel flag at the event, I will turn around and walk out, period. Because that's not American only. I want everyone to understand that. Okay? We are being had with propaganda with individuals within our own movement. Don't be a victim. Conquer what they're doing. Conquer the conditioning that they're trying to put on you. Okay? We have no conditioning going on here at PPN. We're just like you. We want the truth. We got families. We got children, grandchildren. We want our country and our way of life to get better, to be better, because we have been hoodooed our whole entire lives, ladies and gentlemen. This is nothing new that you don't already know, but we're going to be going through a lot of pain to fix this. And aisle 17, there's a big old mess, and you better grab a mop, because it's time to get to work, because it's time to put up or shut up, ladies and gentlemen. Dallas, as always, thank you, brother. God bless you. See you, man.
You better, man. Get some rest.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Bye. Another one in the box, folks. God bless the Republic of the United States of America, and God bless you, patriots. Without you folks, there is no America or world, for that matter. God bless, and we'll talk to you. See you. Bye-bye. Hi there, I'm Chaz Carter. Welcome to Patriot Shoot. If you're looking for a censorship-free platform where you can freely express your thoughts and connect with like-minded individuals, then you're in the right place. At Patriot Shoot, we offer more than just a membership. For just $8.99 per month, we provide you with daily intel, weekly giveaways, and access to our exclusive voice chat platform called Patriot Talk, where we have somewhere between 200 to 400 active members just on that alone, discussing a wide range of topics every single day. You'll gain access to our state groups where you can connect with members in your state at a grassroots level. Our community is all about open dialogue and sharing valuable information without the fear of being silenced. Whether it's discussing current events, giving advice, or personal matters, or simply connecting with others on Patriot Shoot, it is the place to be. So what are you waiting for? Join us today. Experience the freedom of speech and just fill out the form below and get started. We cannot wait to have you here with us, and welcome aboard.